So, a question's been revolving around my head for quite some time, and no matter what answer I give myself, it doesn't quite satisfy it. The question, obviously, being, well, if you've seen the title of the video, you'll know what I'm talking about. But the question itself is, what do I think was the deadliest land animal that ever lived? Now, when you get a question like this, there's a lot of factors that come into play, because animals themselves, they're all extremely different, and over periods of time, we've had so many, thousands and thousands and thousands of different species of animal. More than that, much more, billions even. I think the most dangerous animal, in short, before I get into all the details of why I think this animal is the most deadliest, I think the most deadliest animal that ever lived, that ever walked the earth, didn't swim, was Utahraptor. And the reason I say that is simply because it was smart. It wasn't, hyper intelligent like most modern mammal predators, such you've got African wild dogs. They were smarter than Utahraptor. But I'm saying Utahraptor itself was a pretty smart dinosaur when you compare it to other dinosaurs. It was big. It was 9 feet tall. It was bulky. It was really, really, really muscular. It was very fast. It was exceptionally equipped with weapons all over its body. It's got those teeth, sharp, serrated teeth. It's got the massive claws on its forelimbs. It's got the big killing claws on its feet. It was agile. It could maneuver. It was just, I think this animal itself was designed to absolutely eviscerate other living animals. You do not want to get attacked by a Utahraptor. That's what I'm saying. If you get attacked by a Utahraptor, it doesn't matter what you are in for some serious trouble. In theory, it could kill a Tyrannosaurus Rex. If you forced them to fight, which in real life they would probably just avoid each other at all costs. But if, you put it into sort of a Jurassic Park scenario where they're fighting each other and all that, I think a Utahraptor has a chance of coming out on top. It was a pack hunter. It's Utahraptor. It has to be. It's so dangerous. If you pitted a Utahraptor against any modern mammal, a modern land mammal at least, it would tear shreds off it. It would kill a lion in seconds. It would kill a tiger in seconds. Hell, it would probably kill a grizzly bear in seconds. I just think that when you can't take it down, when you're a natural animal, you cannot take this thing down. It is just, and then, you might say Deinonychus. Well, Deinonychus isn't as big, and it's not as bulky as Utahraptor, and it doesn't have the shallower skull with the stronger bite force as Utahraptor has. If there's one dinosaur that I do not want to encounter, it's Utahraptor. Absolutely. To be honest, all dromaeosaurids I wouldn't want to encounter because they're pretty much perfect size for killing humans. But Utahraptor itself is just so utterly devastating. It's the perfect killer. It really, really is. And if it had been allowed to evolve further, and I know that it did evolve further, but now that's actually an interesting thing because nobody really knows what a Utahraptor evolved into, if it evolved into anything else before the KT extinction, which I strongly believe it did because it definitely had some time. It was around in the early to mid Cretaceous period. It definitely had all that last point, especially in the Maastrichtian stage, to evolve into something. We just haven't found any specimens that Utahraptor could have evolved into. Although, saying that, it does seem that dromaeosaurids got smaller as time went on throughout the Cretaceous. Utahraptor was the largest of the dromaeosaurids, and it started off in the early Cretaceous. And then, you get further on to the Maastrichtian, and there's Troodon, which is only like 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall. So yeah, you don't really have a lot of big dromaeosaurids towards the end of the Cretaceous, but it is possible. What I'm trying to say is that Utahraptor, in my opinion, and I know there's a lot of other, dangerous dinosaurs. There's so many, actually. It doesn't have to be dinosaurs. It can be mammals during, the Tertiary or the Quaternary. You've got the Permian, the Carboniferous, all these, periods of deadly animals in them. But if you asked me, I would say it's Utahraptor. Absolutely. And I'm not even really that much of a fan of Utahraptor. I just look at its biology and its ecology even, and I figure that, this thing's really, really dangerous. It's when you look at its skeletons and you look at restorations of it, it is just immensely deadly, especially when you compare it to the prey that it was hunting. You've got Iguanodon, which, thumb spikes aside, it wasn't really that defended against animals like Utahraptor, which is probably why Iguanodon was a bit larger, and Utahraptor would probably go for a juvenile Iguanodon if it could. I think Utahraptor australiomosaurum it's just so equipped, if that makes any sense. It is perfectly adapted. And that's another thing. Before I get into what it's adapted to, its environment, its prey, all that stuff. It was a very adaptable animal. You could take Utahraptor and you could put it in a woodland area today, in the modern day, and it would survive. You could take Utahraptor and you could put it in the savannah today and it would survive. Because it's got prey. It is designed for pretty much all sort of climates. It didn't have a lot of feathers. It definitely had some feathers, but it didn't have a lot. It would hunt deer, elk, it would hunt buffalo, all these animals that live in the modern day. If you were to take a Utahraptor from the Cretaceous and just plonk it down in the late Quaternary, which is where we are today, in the Holocene, then I think it would really, really do well and succeed as a predator, and it would probably outcompete a lot of other predators. In fact, it would, 100%. It would outcompete all the other modern predators in its region. So yeah, to answer the question, the most dangerous predator that ever walked the earth, the most dangerous animal that ever walked the earth, in my opinion, is Utahraptor australiomosaurum. And I think I'm getting the species name wrong because I don't have it in front of me. This is all coming out of my head. I'm pretty sure it's australiomosaurum, or it might be australiosaurum instead. But yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. Utahraptor is the deadliest. In my opinion, it is. It's certainly not the most powerful, but it is definitely, in my opinion, when you add up all of its traits and its abilities and its capabilities, then it really just comes down to how dangerous this animal really, really was. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, or listening, I should say. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't enjoy it, then let me know in the comments, your theories and your discussions and debates. And I know this stuff really sparks a lot of controversy. I know people, you might say, oh, T-Rex was the most dangerous animal that ever lived, or Smilodon. Just let me know in the comments, tell me, and I'll have a discussion there. And nobody fight each other. I've had that before, where people just fight in the comment sections. So just chill out, be professional. See ya.